Finally.
Should have been at it. I would love them to be flashy, but if they were just as simple as the NPCs do, I'd be happy with that. And the in-house striking dummy is another thing that got brought up that was mentioned, that it won't be usable, like combat usable, but cosmetically he doesn't see a problem with having something like that put in house for interior.
Mm-hmm.
But yet again, I don't need to have it function like the ones outside, dude. If you give me a training emote, you give me a persistent training emote, I'll just stand in front of it with the persistent training emote on, and I'll be immersed in my role play. The lofts are supposed to get fixed too.
Good, because I need to. Yeah, probably be time to go to bed soon too.
I'm probably gonna switch over to Oak and run Coffee Factory these mornings.
I'll do that with you before I go to bed.
Yeah, so I was figuring I'll do at least one time. See if I can luck up and get this shit.
Cause I want that music. I don't want the first one, I want the final one that's like the dramatic music. Cause that's like iconic Nier music.
Still not a fan of it.
Well, I love Nier, so it's nostalgia.
I feel like they could have done a little bit better with it than they did. Not saying that, I don't know. It's a loaded statement. Because I don't feel like it's bad either. I don't know. I guess what I would like to say is I had an expectation for what the music was going to sound like.
I was expecting it to be the robot music. How like Nier they had like the robots making music while they were fighting. I was expecting that, but they didn't do it. And the crazy part is like the robots are in there, and they're all over the place. And you even got like what 2 bosses there with the robots. It's like they didn't bother to make it. It's like jeez.
So I was expecting it to be more epic than what it turned out to be. And it wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it's not bad. And I have to be honest and admit that it's not bad. It's just not what I was
Hoping for it.
hoping for.
You going to invite or should I?
Yeah. Or it don't matter. I was just fucking around with her glams and her tanks because I changed to 400 gear, and in the process of me changing to 400 gear,
yeah, I
hold
know.
on. Yeah, so I was working with that glam. I'll switch now. Give me 2 seconds. 2 switches. Machinist. Cool. 10 minutes. Sweet Christ.
No, I don't want to switch to a healer. I don't think my healers are geared well. Actually, no, they're not. They're at 458. They need accessories. Huh. Might go buy some.
After a specific look for her machinist, and I never found it. I wanted like a sexy gunslinger, but it just never really turned out the way I was after. I mean, what I got on now ain't bad, but it ain't exactly what I was after either. I'm telling you, I can come up with a plan that actually works for me.
Still 10 minutes. Holy shit. I guess no one's really on.
Even with a healer.
Uh-huh.
Shit. That's a shocker.
Well, now we're just waiting on DPS. Wow.
Wasn't much of it was out of bags. Yes, it was. Leather trousers.
Maybe I should have scholared. I wanted to do Astro because I wanted to be petty. But I do like playing Scholar. I don't know, I enjoy Scholar Summoner. I still haven't figured out how to use the Seraph that well, but that's okay.
I think it's your knowledge that nobody likes either. Reminds me of me when everybody was like, yeah, don't play tank with warrior because nobody wants warrior. I was like, oh fuck that, I'm gonna show you that warrior's the shit.
I think that's why I picked Dark Knight as well. And, well, not Ninja, because Ninja I just thought was the coolest thing ever when you showed me it. That's that's what got me to play the game. He was like, yo, Ninja's wild as fuck. He do his jutsus and shit, and I was just like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
It was, and then they fucking dolled it the fuck down and made it a utility belt. And I felt bad for hating it so much when you loved it. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. I hate this job now.
I have this thing where I like to feel useful, and like I didn't know how to play the game, so still being useful even though I was sucking was like the greatest thing ever.
You didn't give yourself any credit either. You kept saying you were sucking, and you were far from sucking. that was if the community was at its best. They would have let you know that you sucked. They damn sure would have let you know if you sucked. There was no way around it.
I don't think anyone ever told me I was bad in Heaven's Ward.
The first time I heard anybody say anything about your gameplay was what's the name of that damn content? The dragon.
Shinryu?
Shinryu. Yeah, Shinryu. I was actually a good bit surprised that you didn't fold under the pressure of Shinryu. I'm not gonna hold you.
I was a little bit of an elitist at that moment.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was shocked that Shinryu did not break you. Especially when the people start name dropping you, I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I wonder if he'll make it out of this one alive.
I did get frustrated with Shinryu, but I got through with Paladin, and I was mad as fuck that it was so easy.
I was just watching it. I was just watching it, heart racing, like, oh man, this dude is the only person that's been hanging with me for the longest time, and they're about to run this man off the fucking game. Oh shit. And then I was pleasantly surprised that you didn't go anywhere. In fact, you got angry and got better. It was like, that's the fuck I'm talking about.
I definitely was upset. I was hella mad.
It was like, oh my god, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, they're calling you out because you suck. Yeah, you suck. Okay, accept the fact that you suck and get better. So many people suck and get offended that they suck and then be like, I don't want to play the game no more. Get better. That's all you gotta do. Just commit. Like, literally, that's all you have to do is commit. So once you commit, the world is your oyster. You'll start getting better in the blink of an eye. You won't even realize how fast you're getting better. As a matter of fact, you'll probably still think you suck. That pressure is on. Be like, man, I need to get good. And then one day you'll look up and be like, damn, that was easy as fuck. Did I get good?
I didn't believe that I was better till probably Shadowbringers, when I was literally first day tanking and making it through all these dungeons everyone's crying about. That's when I was like, holy shit. Like, Omega fucking trained me for this shit. Like, cause man, tanking day one Shadowbringers, it was like suicide. 'Cause nobody knew how much damage it was taking. Like, nobody knew.
Everything was so different.
Yeah.
Everything was so different. I'll definitely give you credit where credit is due. 'Cause you braved the fuck out of that. I was not about that life.
That definitely was I would say my achievement for this expansion is like, and the thing is like, that turned me into a raid tank fully. Like, I was like, yeah, I think I can tank a raid. Like, I wasn't even afraid.
I kept telling you all you had to do was get your confidence up. That's your biggest thing. Knowing when you can eat something and when you shouldn't eat it. 9 times out of 10, you shouldn't eat it. But there are those rare moments where it's like, if I turn, I'm gonna clip the fuck out of somebody. You know what I mean? Or it won't benefit me at all to do anything but eat this in the ass. But then being smart about eating it. So if I know I'm gonna have to eat this, let me pop cooldowns. Once you got that part down, that was your biggest issue. Just from running content with you, watching you eat shit that you ain't had no business eating, and then trying to tell Boulder, yeah, you shouldn't have ate that. Was not always an easy task either. No, you shouldn't have ate that. Fuck you, I got this. Okay. Okay. I hear you, big dog. Don't hurt nobody.
My biggest thing is like I learned from seeing or doing. That's my fastest way of learning. So it's like, let me hit the wall or show me how to do it, because I'm not going to get any other way. So that's another reason why it's hard for me to explain things to people, because like I don't know how to tell you, because how I figured it out was I hit the wall, you know.
Hey, I'm just glad you actually grasped it. For a while there, I swear I was thinking I didn't know how to teach people how to do it, because there were so many people that were failing so bad.
Literally, when you did that suicide pool the first time, that's what it like was the first like eye opener. Because then I started doing it and like trying to figure out how to do it, and you know I'll run into the wall constantly just by myself. People yelling at me like, stop pulling all that, or you know, if you can't do it, don't do it type of deal. But I would keep doing it till I figure out, you know, how to do my cooldowns correctly, and that's what got it. And also Palace of the Dead helped a lot too, because like that's where I like became like fucking good with like self-sustaining myself.
It was no different than me learning how to get good at tanking in the world, man. So I always called myself a great calamity tank. When the world falls apart and the sky is falling, I'm able to maintain and hold it all together. I came from all them fates. Run up on a fate, take all the aggro, control it with random things spawning in as the fight continues to go, still maintaining all that order and all that amongst the chaos. That took some real doing, some real talent, and then I just took it to dungeons. Translated well. People were making fun of me about it and everything. It's a bad idea. That's never going to work. Blah, 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 blah. That's stupid.
Heaven's Warrior, when I did Palace of the Dead as a warrior, when I was trying to get to warrior, I never made warrior until Stormblood, but no, I made warrior. I just didn't have the warrior abilities at the time.
Yeah, you didn't max.
But I know I brought this up a couple times, but pretty much I had clutched the whole Palace of the Dead. Everyone died at the end boss, and if you die, you know, you have to restart. And I had to clutch that shit. And then like everyone was cheering me on. They're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you did that and shit." And like I had potions that you gave me, and fucking a couple of the abilities that transferred over, like blood for blood and stuff, and I'm just like, damn. And bloodbath for warrior, and I was playing warrior at the time, and the boss had like 23 health, and she did a lot of AoEs, but like warrior back then could heal at least 70% before he took a big enough damage. And it just was like, when I killed that boss and I put down, like I literally stopped everything at the boss at 1%, said carried, just and I lost it because I was like, holy shit, I had never seen such a thing before in my life. Like I never did this before, and people were just cheering me on, like, "Oh my god, I love you." I got the video still. I posted it on YouTube, so
I remember.
and I was like, that that was when I felt like, yeah, I can do this. Like, I want to get to that point, you know.
For me, I've had so many of those moments now. So many. I've been tanking for a very long time, so I have so many of those clutch moments where it's like everything, the world done fell apart, and it's like, it's cool, I'm a warrior, I got this. Niggas be like, might as well wipe. I'm not wiping. We might as well win up. I'm not wiping. I just want to chase down and see if I can find a better fucking firearm. Yeah, I'm not wiping. Yeah, we might as well wipe. Just wipe. Just wipe. No, I'm not wiping. I got this. Fight over. Just standing there looking. And get all the praise and glory.
That's what I love.
That was back during the days where people actually fucking gave you comms according to your work.
Mhm. And that's the moments that I love the most. Like that's what made me stay playing this game too. It's like I felt like a hero, you know. I never felt that way in World of Warcraft. Never had that experience ever. It was, you know, it was either just business or this is fun damage for now, you know.
Oh, I know. I most definitely know. It's one of the reasons why I felt so strongly against the game, like never allowing me to be the center of attention. It's always somebody else who's getting all the praise and all the glory, and it's never you.
Mhm.
Vagrant comes in and saves the day. It's like, come on, bro. I hate that. Why do y'all make me feel so fucking pathetic? That's tragic. I do like these sleeves, though.
That's also another reason why I felt so against the cross class skills. I know why they did it, but like it really, and I keep bringing it up, but like I really felt like that was FF's unique thing. Like, you know, it's like you play all these classes and you get a payoff. It's like now you're the best you can be because you've worked so hard, and just to have that.
And it puts you in a category that very few were in too.
Yeah, it was very prestigious. You know, like it felt like grinding all the classes made sense. It was like it's in story, you're everything. In in game, you feel like you're that hero. You know, you're doing all this crazy shit that you wouldn't even think would be actually possible. Like dodging a tank buster, like what? Healing through when everyone's dead or when the healers are gone, healing through all the damage. And I know that's game changing, but it's like that's the point, you know. The whole point is that
it felt good.
Yeah, it's like
it felt so damn good. Like I felt like the warrior of light,
right?
Because when everything fell apart, everything went to shit, everything was just wrong, and there was no hope. I was alive, which meant we still had hope.
We still had hope. Yeah, it's like on the last stand. Even as like a monk, A monk, the tank drops, the monk catches, and it's like he's there for a good while, tanking, long enough for the healer to get the tank up, heal him, and the tank to take the aggro back. Like that's what he should be doing. Like that's his niche. It's like when the shit falls apart, he can hold the line long enough to get the tank back and restart the pretty much the fight. And I feel like, you know, the casters had the res. It's like, oh shit, the healer's dead. Res. Paladin had his clemency. Dark Knight had his dodge. And boy, I love seeing dodge. Like, when a tank just says, yeah, I'm not taking damage.
At all.
At all. It was like, fuck hollow ground. Bitch, I just jumped over your fucking AoE like it was nothing like that. It blew my mind, I'm telling you. Like, I think I even said it one time when I dodged the tank buster and you was like, yep. I was just like, the fuck? Because I had lightweight because I played monk a little bit and I put that on while sitting in the AoE. I'm just like...
It even goes back as far as me remembering me telling you which skills I took. And you were like, why? Why would you take this? Why would you take that? I'm like, bro, fuck dodging. I was like, fuck mitigating. I'd rather just dodge it all together.
Yeah.
You were like, you can do that? I'm like, yeah. That's a thing. Yes,
like,
that is a thing.
The fuck? Oh
Like,
my god.
he was like, you're not serious? You're serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. You could just completely dodge some shit.
Completely just ignores all, like, all damage. Just,
oh,
nope.
You swung at me? Nah.
And
I'm
like,
glad you attempted to swing at me, my nigga, but it didn't do shit for you.
and like, Dark Knight got a payoff when he dodges. Like, oh my god, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And it made sense because it's like he's the tank that, you know, he's fast with his blade, and he hits hard, but he's more magical because, you know, it's like magic making him move like this. Whereas Warrior's like, I'm just pure rage incarnate, and Paladin's like, my god will protect me, you know. So it's like, it made so much sense. I'm just hack and slashing edgelord who, you know, dances on his enemies when they try to hit him. It's like, that blew my mind. And it's like, that was when they had, each class had a niche. No one was bitching about hollow ground because you could dodge. Nobody was bitching about, you know, dodging because he could heal himself and deny that any death. Just insta heals himself from beating the shit out of the boss. Like shit like that. And it's like,
I think that was when the game was at its purest. 110%. I believe that's when the game was at its purest. Where everything was relevant. Every job felt relevant. And every skill had a purpose. Even if you didn't know what that purpose was, it had a purpose. It might not fit the job that you're using currently, but everything had a purpose.
I swear.
You know what I mean?
Like, Haymaker gave an enemy a slow. I didn't even know what slow did. Like, turns out it's powerful.
Yeah, I loved that. The fact that everything had a purpose. So it might not fit the job that you're on right now. And it might anger you that it didn't fit the job that you were on at the moment. But it had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And all it took was you to take the time to figure out what that purpose was. And it made everything useful. It made everything useful. And then the era of balance came into play. And everything just went to shit from there.
And the thing that was like, it made me feel like I was building a character too. Like, fuck the stats, because that was, you know, that was just optimization to its highest point. You know, like you'd have to figure out everything to the point. But like excluding that, like when you optimize your character's skills, that was Arc H before Arc H existed. Like I love that. Like that was my favorite moments.
I had a lot of them.
And they shouldn't even bother because the meta was never going to change. Like it never was. Matter of fact, I think the meta's worse now because you don't have a fighting chance. It's solidified because there's no like leeway with other skills. Granted,
there's no way to fight against it. I mean,
yeah.
I give them credit where credit is due. They did an exceptional job at trying to get rid of the meta.
Yeah,
they did an exceptional
it lasts
job.
for a good while.
So yeah, I can be 100% honest and admit that I feel like they did a great job at trying to get rid of the meta. But it's a loaded statement in my opinion because the meta existed solely because of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They made the meta. They made it themselves with their own hands and then solidified it as the years went on. And then once they realized that they solidified it, all they had to do to eliminate the meta was put everything into the role skills. You want a piercing vulnerability, or role skill. You want a blunt vulnerability, roll skill. You want a slashing debuff, roll skill. That's all they needed to do. And that would literally stop the entire meta with one swing, with little to no effort.
Literally, because the biggest meta problem, it wasn't even the tanks. It was literally the DPS. And it was all Dragoon and Bard combo. Rip off the fucking piercing debuff and bam. Like, I'm not saying remove it, but do what you said, you know, and bam. Now they can't be like, oh well, he's got the piercing buff, so he's optimal. It's like, no, everybody has it, so we're all optimal.
Yeah, that's all they had to do. Make it so that everybody had it. Once everybody has it, there's no more reason for one person to be favored over another because everybody has access to it. Now that everybody has access to it, job done. They're like, nah, we don't want to do. What do you mean you don't? I'll never understand Square. I'll never understand them.
Like, I understand, you know, cleaning up some things, because like I do feel like the classes we have right now, if they were in, like, if they came after Heaven's Ward, and we still had the cross skills with that piercing buff stuff,
we'd be broken.
It'd be way better, you know. We'd be broken, yeah, but they could always compensate for it.
We would be broke as fuck. Why do I say we would be broken? Because I'm looking at the amount of damage that we used to do, and I'm looking at how much damage we're doing now. If that power scaling held true the whole way through, we would be destroying everything right now. Like, everything. My nigga, we would be destroying the world. I get why they didn't want why they wanted to change that kind of quickly. I get it.
No, I'm not saying I don't get it, but I feel like
I would have loved to be that powerful.
Yeah, because we're at the point of practically fighting the last.
We're fighting gods.
Yeah, like
we're fighting gods.
We're
fighting being vulnerable. We're fighting. You know what I mean? We're fighting shit that we should be able to do. To be able to fuck with them, we need to be something special. And I just don't feel special. I don't feel special. And I hate that feeling of normality. Like, I honest to God hate that feeling of normality. And that is a thing in this game where you feel normal. and they don't help to reinforce, to dissuade you from feeling normal when they have Thancred one-shotting enemies and you're just sitting there looking stupid after, like, you know what I mean? You got schmucked, you're sitting there looking dumb, and here comes Thancred and saves the day. It's like, what?
And the thing that fucks me up is the Ranjit shit. Like, the fuck? Ranjit, like, two taps us after he transforms. Thancred walks toe to toe with him. And the only reason why I think he was, like, getting beat, like, he was, like, almost about to lose, was because he was, like, dying from the Aether loss or some shit. I don't remember. It was something
Ranjit?
like, no,
Or
Thancred.
Thancred.
Like, he, like, fought him off, but like, he was, like, exhausted or something from using.
Yeah, he used up all, because he doesn't have Aether. His body does not have Aether, which means he should not have been able to win that fight at all. But we're not going to talk about that.
Oh yeah, it's the camouflage technique. He like had to stop his heart slowly or slow it down.
Yeah,
and that
use
fucks
his
with
Aether.
him.
He has no Aether in his body to be able to replenish or restore. So he just kind of burned out all of his Aether in the process.
Yeah. And it's like, that's the fuck. This guy's crippled, and he's whooping this dude's ass. But here I am, bountiful, godlike energy inside of me, but can't even solo a world monster unless I get, friends.
It's an average, everyday world boss, and I can't fuck with him at all. A fate boss, and I can't. And I might still die because my chocobo might miss a hill or two. I hate that about this game. I've always hated that about this game. Which is one thing I always loved about going to the low level zones. Go to the low level zones and I'm able to just walk in and shit on everything the way I should have been doing all along. Like, I should have been doing this from the beginning, but since I wasn't, but I can now, I'm all for it. Let's go.
Like, I understand, you want the crawl, the grind, but like, there's some parts where it's just like, this should not be happening at this point. Like, after you beat Nidhogg, that should have been it. You should have been the man, the fucking boss. You've slain a big ass dragon. You had the power of a dragon and blessing from Midgar somewhere. You shouldn't be smugged by anyone. Like, I mean, granted, Estinian would be your rival. I'll give you that, because he has two eyes. But like, there shouldn't be that many that could actually just step to you. Like, basic Garlean grunts shouldn't be whooping your ass when you're in the Alamigo. It should be like.
I feel like I get that they were trying to show a difference in between you and what's his name? What's his fucking name?
Who, Estinian?
Zenos. I understand that they were trying to make you feel that Zenos was somebody of import, but I feel like they diminished us.
Everything behind
so greatly at that point that they never recovered from that. I always felt like they made us dumb weak, and after they made us dumb weak, they made everybody else strong, and we just never recovered.
Never rebound. And Xenos is still powerful as fuck, by the way. The only reason why he's not
more powerful now.
Yeah.
He's more powerful now because he's even more in touch with his echo than we are. Like, worlds more in touch with his echo than we are. And the fucked up thing that still bothers me is the man had a speech. And during that speech, he flat out told us, we are the reason why we are getting schmucked the way we are. Because we have yet to learn to properly tap into our echo.
And we haven't still.
and we still haven't tried to tap into the echo.
Like, going through all this shit is like, bro, you still haven't, stopped to figure this shit out. You went through cross dimensions, and you still haven't thought, maybe we should probably figure this shit out. You fought an Ashian who practically won. And
Who did win.
And
he did win.
The only reason why he died is because of Arbor little help in you shooting all the light that was killing you, which he was hoping wouldn't kill you. If you learned the echo, you probably wouldn't have died. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why the fuck are we not learning this shit?
If we learned the echo, we would have been able to control the light. But because we didn't learn the echo, we were schmucked by the light. And it bothered him himself that had happened.
To his core. And instead we unjustly killed a man. Because we failed him.
Like, legit. It wasn't like a light letdown that was huge, that M itself was like, I can't believe that I had such high hopes for you and you didn't live up to anything that I expected. I'm actually really hurt that you weren't able to handle this light. I was praying that you could, because then we wouldn't have to go through this. If you could actually hold the light, we wouldn't have had to go through this.
We wouldn't reach this point. We would just, find another way. Because, if the potential is there, if you had solved this riddle.
If you could have held the light, that meant that everyone else was wrong. And they would have to admit that they were wrong.
But instead, you're just proving them right. And now everyone's coming full force. So it means, like, they're not going to back out on their mission now at all. Like, there's no hope anymore, because you showed
hope at all, because you showed so much promise, and then when you were put to the test, you failed.
And like, yeah, I get that part is like a decent story moment, but I still think, in the sense of a normal person would do, is figure out why their superpower isn't working. Like, isn't that a superhero arc? Like, who just has a superpower and just lets it pop up passively?
No sense of purpose in controlling it.
No, none. Like, you just like headache. Like, the fuck? You would think you would want to stop the headaches.
Had we had control over the echo properly, dude wouldn't have been able to pull us to the first at all.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been able to. We would have stopped it. Like, nope, I'm not going there. No, thank you. What did you want now? But we don't have power over the echo, so.
Probably could even pull our friends right back. Like, excuse me. Or stop them from going.
We probably would have been able to stop it. We probably would have been able to stop it altogether.
Yeah.
Like, he had tried and have been like, denied. No. What are you doing? Who are you?
Like, all these problems, and it's like derived from you just not knowing how to fucking use your power.
There's a whole fucking bad guy. A whole fucking bad guy who has access to the power we have, and the entire time he's telling you suck because you can't use this ability.
Not a boo-boo. Like,
you legit suck because you can't use this ability and you need to learn how to.
And I feel like Xenos constantly is trying to get you to learn too.
That's all he was doing the whole time.
Yeah.
Push you to the breaking point so you'll learn this shit and get better, get good, scrub. And we're like, nah, I don't think I want to learn.
That's why I feel like him killing himself was him despairing that he's like, you'll never figure it out because you're not trying or something.
Actually, I think that was a big fuck you. I
Oh,
really do believe that that was a big fuck you. That was a, yeah, you might have won, but you aren't worthy of my life, so I'll take my own, so you don't get it. Because you haven't mastered the echo. You want on somebody else's blessing, not your own. So fuck it. You're not worth my life. That's what I really believe. Like, he was saying fuck you guys.
You would think we would have like a moment where our eyes turn to that echo with like Xenos's, but they never do that.
Or that shockwave that he does all the time. And every echo user, including Yassi, do that same shockwave. Where it's that dark color and it like whipples across everything. He kept using it to knock us out for the count.
Yeah, that shit annoys the fuck out, man.
Jesus.
So,
Bro.
what I'm hearing is like they're thinking about doing like not a transfer, but like you're going to pretty much be on a new slate where like they didn't. This is just speculation, but they're saying like the next expansion might be this game is like a different game, and then they have like a whole new game that's more up to date, and it's like in the future where they didn't need the warrior light, but now they do, type of deal, and you're like summoned back to the world.
I don't know.
Like I said,
I could see it.
speculations, but it was supposed to be like how they can update the game, but like not throw away everything you had from the old game. So it's pretty much the old game's in suspension, where like you can go back and play it, but it's not the new game. Which is the same game, just not the same engine.
I don't know. I mean, I know they were saying that they were planning on making it more up to date. I know that part. I know that they were also talking about shit, how they could do it without destroying everything. And I also know that they were actually talking about scrapping it all and going at it again a second time around.
I think they should scrap it. I mean,
I'm all partial for scrap it and start again.
I mean, I don't want to lose everything, but it's like, if this is what's holding us back from hitting a point where I can get the things that I want,
Scrap it.
scrap it. I don't want to hear any more excuses. Throw us away. Give us Black Desert level combat and deep and customization and Elder Scrolls housing and
The moment they said
this Final Fantasy story, like,
the moment they said that PlayStation 3 was holding back, said that PlayStation 3 was holding back this game from being great on PlayStation 4. The moment I heard that, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, okay, I got a 4. Discontinue 3's access. Everybody's like, yo, you can't just say that. That's fucked up. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, fuck that. Like, I want this game to be as good as this game can possibly be.
yeah. Well, if there's something holding it back, take care of it. We'll catch up. No one's gonna die missing out on the game until they get the requirements.
Fast forward to the present. They're saying the big issue is so much of the game is set in stone that it's virtually impossible for them to undo things to make it fit for us at present. Scrap it. Start
Yeah.
again.
Like, if the game was not perfect to begin with, and you've been juggling since the conception, might as well stop juggling.
You've been fighting against yourself for so long. It's time to stop fighting.
Yeah, you did. It was a good fight. It wasn't the best fight, but it was a good fight. You made the game something, and now you have the funding. Now you have the know and the fans, and you have a guarantee.
I would go as far as to say it was a great fight because they brought back a game that was 110% dead.
Mm-hmm.
They brought it back from the ashes. Not only did they bring it back from the ashes, they brought it back from the ashes with so much form and focus that it felt like a completely new game, even though it wasn't. Mission accomplished. Take your bow.
They even, knocked the Titan off his pedestal for a moment.
Mission accomplished. Take your bow. You've done the unthinkable, the impossible, the unbelievable. Take a bow.
Yeah,
Now that you've taken your bow, get back on your shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get back on your shit. It's time to not just keep what you've got, but make it so that nobody can fuck with it again. And if you're telling me the thing that's stopping you is old systems that are now obsolete, and you guys don't know what you should do, let me make it easy for you.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Burn it.
There's no reason for us to keep talking. Get rid of it. Destroy it.
I'd rather take a good, up-to-date game than to stay with the game I got.
I would even go as far as to say, stop making content altogether.
I would finish this story.
Leave the game active.
Finish this expansion.
Shadowbringers. Yeah, finish Shadowbringers. And then stop.
And just stop.
And then tell the world we're stopping because we're making new content. We're making a brand new game experience for you.
Yeah,
without
let them know.
all the limitations and the shackles that we put on us ourselves all this time. Let everybody know so everyone's aware of what you're doing. That's a big thing.
And I also think it should go full circle with the Calamity. Just so that, everyone can experience their Calamity now, like this is like the new one. I feel like not saying that like, oh, I want one. It's more like you base your story around it. It should, come back to that. This is how we tie in the new fans and the old fans together. Well, new players and old players.
Everybody has an experience that they can relate to.
Yeah.
Because right now it's only mythos for everybody else. If you weren't here when it happened, it's mythos. You don't believe it. You can see it, of course, but to say that you experienced it, you believe it because you witnessed it, no. You don't, because it's not a thing that you experienced. And I get it. Well, I just feel like they need to do better. Like, just come to that realization that it's time to let it fuck up.
Yeah. And enough of this loading screen shit. Unless it's an instance or a dungeon, shouldn't be loading anymore. Make the world full. I mean, obviously you got your rendered distance, but you know what I mean, like instead of teleporting to Limsa and walking through like a fucking load screen.
It should be seamless. There's too many games out here now that are seamless, and you don't have
too many MMOs are seamless. Like
there's too many that are seamless, and you don't have seamless yet. Why don't you have seamless?
And everything should be voice acted, other than like side stories. I'll give you the side stories not being voice acted, because one, there's a lot, and two, it's like who's really doing them half the time? Like, unless they're worth something.
Elder Scrolls ruined the idea of it doesn't need to be voice acted for me. Elder Scrolls ruined it because they voice acted everything. Is it excessive? Yes. Is it unnecessary? Yes. Do I care? No. No, not at all. I want excessive. I want to be so immersed that I feel like I'm in this game, like full on. And I don't get that feeling most of the time because this game's limitations. And now you're telling me that the limitations can be fixed, but the only reason why they can't be fixed is because old meta or old structures that you can't seem to get rid of. What?
If it's in the core, that means to rip it from its roots.
Rip it the fuck out.
Like, throw this engine away, build a better one, a more improved one, a more solid one, and then go from there.
It's in your way. It's no longer useful. That's honestly how I feel about the whole thing. It's in your way. It's no longer useful. It's in your way. It's no longer useful. It's slowing you down or making your life harder than what it needs to be. And that's what you're telling me.
And the more frightening part is, we got new consoles coming up. So this is the perfect time to drop it on the 5. With the 5's power, that's your mandatory. Everyone's got to get the new system.
That's what I'm saying. They need to just go ahead, stop, finish where you're at, because I don't feel like a blind stop would be good.
finish Shadowbringers. Maybe give like a little post story or something, you know, and then set up for the Calamity.
Yeah, I really do believe finish where you're at, of course, because I think would be a big oversight to not finish it. But finish it. Once it's finished, be like, we're coming next gen. Or we'll see you on next gen. Or if not even see you on next gen, just make whatever you're making compatible for next gen. And then give that segue from 4 into 5. Because 4 and 5 are supposed to be very compatible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they need to do. Just go that route. And
you have it to where it's like 5 is the where you should be, but
5 is
4,
where you're building everything for.
Yeah,
but 4 can support the game while the transition from 4s to 5s takes place.
Yeah.
That way nobody is being lost in the translation. And then discontinue use on 4 after a while. And I mean like a finite set in stone that everybody knows is coming.
Mm-hmm.
So get in now or get left behind type of an effect. That's what I think they should do.
And this time, I definitely would say like start out with all the classes you got now, excluding Blue Mage, because I think Blue Mage, I don't think it should not exist, but it's like it's a limited.
Be a real job,
yeah, this shouldn't be here.
It's not going to be a real job. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, it shouldn't be here, especially on the drop of a new game. It shouldn't be here. And if you
shouldn't have been here. It shouldn't have been here at all. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to do something different. They were trying to do something creative, something unique. Fail.
Like everything else.
Fail. So don't do it no more. Get rid of it. You either get rid of it or make it a physical fucking job that actually works the way every other job works. If that's not possible, get rid of it.
Yeah.
If it's not possible that it can function the way every other job functions.
Oh yeah, Mega. You go to your party settings and turn. Did you turn that your voice on?
Start pushing in that direction because there's not too many other. There's not too many other places for them left to go now.